Hey guys, Dina Wolf here, and I am coming to you today to share some of the amazing benefits of Copaiba oil. So, newly released from doTERRA, we have the Copaiba, which is one of the most impressive oils that we have, and we have some pretty impressive oils, right? So, it has so many really awesome benefits, and I really want to just kind of go through and explain what some of those are, because they range from so many different benefits to like reducing pain, eliminating inflammatory response, protecting against infectious type activity. They help to support the wound in healing and regranulation of new tissues. It helps with fungal activity and growth, like helping to suppress that. And then also respiratory health as well. So, improving hair, skin, and nails, helping to maintain bladder function, speeds up and tightens the skin, helps to lower blood pressure as well. And so let's kind of go through some of those different items and different ways to use the oil and see how you might benefit from using this amazing product. Okay, so if you are on here live, go ahead and type a 1. Okay, and if you're on a replay, go ahead and type 2. Hi Eddie, how are you? So this actually comes from resin, and it can change color sometimes too. So you may see certain times of the year where the Copaiba may be a little bit darker than other times of the year. Okay, it's very active component in the plant and consists mostly of terpenes and hydrocarbons. Okay, now for us chemical buffs, that's something that we're really interested in because those have certain properties, right? So we're going to break it down for you and explain what does that mean. Okay. This might actually work really nicely for different skin issues. Okay, so if you're looking at it from like a skincare perspective, we can use it very liberally for its astringent properties. So one of the things that we worry about when we have a wound is infection, right? So how are we going to clean out the wound and make it to where we don't have that infective risk, right? So the Copaiba oil, and I would just put it directly in the wound. That's me personally. I love putting oils directly in wounds. It only burns for 1 minute, if it burns at all. And it kind of just depends on where the wound is. I've had a lot of skin issues, cystic acne issues, and that kind of stuff in the past. And so, I'm all about like, burn it off and get rid of it, kind of a deal. So if you're a tough-skinned person, that might work for you. If you want to dilute it down with coconut oil, you can do that as well. And that should take a lot of that burning sensation away, okay? Like I said, it only lasts for like 1 minute. Pretty much withstand anything for 1 minute, right? Now, if we wanted to reduce the signs of aging, hi Lisa, we could definitely utilize the Copaiba oil directly on the skin. That's going to help us tighten and strengthen the skin to reduce those signs of aging, wrinkles, those kinds of things. If we're having some like large lesions on the skin, great way to help to reduce like scarring, that kind of stuff as well. Okay. Now, not only does it protect the skin physically, and it can actually alter and change that, the Copaiba oil actually heals and infuses the skin with the powerful nutrients that can help eliminate things like blisters, marks, pimples. The Copaiba actually, when it's applied directly to the scars, can help reduce their visibility as well. So there's something that happens in the skin, like a collagen, and that keeps it like nice and tight. That's the stuff that's it's like a connective tissue type organism, and it basically regranulates and keeps the plumpness in our skin so we don't have the sag and bag, okay? And collagen's very, very important, especially when it comes to healing and removing and reducing scarring. Hi, Nora. Good to see you too. So if you're on here live, you're going to press a 1. If you're on here on replay, press 2. Now, aroma-wise, the Copaiba is really good for people who have a lot of like respiratory congestion type stuff, because when you inhale it, it really helps to soothe the respiratory tract, okay? And it reduces a lot of that inflammatory response that we get when our lungs are inflamed or irritated, right? And so a lot of discomfort sometimes comes with that when we're, having a lot of mucus production and that kind of thing in the lungs. And so we want that to be really loosened up so that our muscles cannot be so tense. Because when you're having to cough up that mucus, we start getting really sore in the lungs, right? Our chest starts becoming really sore and tight. And that can be really irritating. And it interferes with our sleep, it interferes with our breathing, our focus. We have a hard time getting oxygen to the brain, and then we feel sleepy. So it helps with a lot of those things as well, okay? Now, for me, I absolutely love the Copaiba oil, okay, for its amazing effects on discomfort, all right? So I have seen people who have had chronic pain issues for years and years and years and years, put a drop of this under their tongue. Now, I like to put it in a little spray bottle. This is a 4 milliliter, you could see the size there. It's a 4 milliliter bottle, clear glass, okay? And I'll put probably 10 to 15 drops of that in there. I'll put some wild orange, make it taste good. And I also like to put some Siberian fir in there as well. Okay, we do in doTERRA have a ton of pain oils, okay, but the Copaiba oil is wonderful for its analgesic effect, and it's been used for generations and generations and generations in an aromatic way, and then also for doTERRA, because we can use our oils internally. You can use it internally, or you can put it topical. It's completely up to you. There's no wrong way to utilize this oil. You just go by the preference. So if you have somebody that's not comfortable with using it under the tongue as a sprayer, like I mentioned, that's okay. Have them put it on location wherever that discomfort is, and it helps to ease that muscle tension, reduce that discomfort. I've even had people use it for headaches and migraine tension as well. Okay, so if have you ever tried the Copaiba before? Those of you that are on here, if you have tried it, go ahead and type "tried it" in the little box below. If you've never tried the Copaiba before, go ahead and put "never tried it" in the box. Okay, kind of want to get a feel for who has used it and who hasn't. Okay, now also too, if you have some sort of like chronic pain issue, hormone issue, neurological issue, including like migraines, headaches, that kind of stuff, focus problem, anything that's neurologic, hormonal, or discomfort related, go ahead and just type an emoji of some sort, you mean like a thumbs up or something, in the little box below. Let me know that you have something that you're maybe working on. And then if you are completely healthy, never had a migraine in your life, you sleep like a baby, you're practically perfect in every way, then just put a thumbs down for me. Like, yeah, I don't need this stuff. I'm going to move on now. Awesome. I love that you tried it, Lisa. Oh, Nora too. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Now, many of you are going to know somebody that needs this Copaiba oil when we get done here, because there's so many other different reasons to utilize this. Okay. So it's a very strong antibacterial oil. Okay. And it can act as like a major booster for your immune system as well. So you can shield your skin, like we talked about. You can, from wounds and infection and that kind of stuff, or you can use it internally to ward off any harmful bacteria, microorganisms that may be negatively affecting our insides. Okay. Mood-wise, it's great for mood. It has a very distinct aroma to it. To me, it kind of smells like salami, but for you, I don't know. Type in the box what you think it smells like to you. I've had some interesting things that people say it smells like to them, which is kind of funny to me. And I'm like, oh yeah. Tell Pat hi. Let's see, Eddie, I've not tried it yet, but I will when I get a migraine. Awesome. I can't wait to hear what you say. Okay, so there aren't very many essential oils that have the pleasant aroma of like rich smelling honey, and that's what most people say this smells like to me. Like I said, salami. But the combination of the scent is extremely potent and powerful to balance your hormones. And that helps to improve our mood. When our hormones are balanced, now we don't just have female hormones, we don't just have male hormones, we have a ton of other hormones. We have thyroid hormone, insulin hormone, we have stress hormone, we have tons of other hormones. But when we say hormones, we always think like male, female, right? So another thing that it helps with is diuresing. It's very diuretic in nature. So for those of us that tend to take on that extra fluid, sometimes hormonal, okay? Sometimes it has to do with cardiac function. The Copaiba helps to cleanse and detoxify the body systems and helps to support urination. And so it removes a lot of that excess fluid that we have allowed to build up. And it helps with maybe if you have a kid that has some incontinence or bedwetting issues, or if you yourself as a woman have had lots of babies or issues, we sometimes have stress incontinence, right? And so you sneeze, you pee, you laugh, you pee, you jump up and down, you pee. And it's not by any means, willingly, it's accidental. And so that helps to tighten up that bladder as well. I love that it helps to prevent fungal activity as well. So there aren't really too many essential oils that can do that. We know that oregano is really good at removing fungus, right? On Guard we've used before, sometimes Melaleuca. Melaleuca not quite as strong, but it does work really nice as an antifungal. And so those terpenes that we mentioned before, those are what the structure has been found in the Copaiba oil that is very, very effective against removing those fungal agents. So if you have like athlete's foot or, like me, I go and get my pedicure, I always drop essential oils in my water, whether it's, Melaleuca or On Guard or Copaiba. I always put something in my water, and then that way I don't have to worry about coming home with a free souvenir of a foot fungus or something like that. So you can also apply it directly on the foot fungus, the toes, or, maybe it's on the hands, spine, wherever. And that helps to significantly speed up that process, protecting your body from future activity in the first place. And then also it's very contagious. You shower from one person to another or bathe, whatever, and somebody has that. It's very easy for that to spread. So definitely we want to quail that and move on from there for sure. Yeah. And another great thing that it's awesome to use for is blood pressure. So I've had a couple of instances where we've had some fluctuations in blood pressure, and the Copaiba, because a lot of times the blood pressure can be a neurological component. Sometimes it's cardiac, sometimes it's too much fluid and the heart's getting kind of congested. The blood pressure is extremely, extremely important because it, warrants a heart attack if we don't take care of it. So we want to reduce that high blood pressure, bringing that down, reducing our risk for heart attack, stroke, and those sorts of things. Just breathing in a little bit of the Copaiba oil, putting it in your hands, smelling it. That is enough to bring your blood pressure down and is amazing for the inflammation in the body. Okay. Now, we know that it relieves pain, but also tension. Okay. So the strain and stress of those blood vessels and allowing that pressure to drop lowers the strain on the body and then lowers that all on your cardiovascular system as well. So those of us that have the risk of atherosclerosis, which is the clogging of the arteries, and we have maybe some like narrowing, constricting, and that causes the blood pressure to go higher, that helps with it as well. So Copaiba oil all the way. Okay. Now, those are just a few of the different ways that you can utilize your Copaiba oil. This is an extremely awesome arsenal to add to your essential oil arsenal that I absolutely love having this in my back pocket. So how many of you know somebody that could definitely use this Copaiba oil? If you know somebody that could utilize this Copaiba oil, tell me, give me a thumbs up or a heart or something, some sort of emoji. And then what did you find the most interesting about the Copaiba? Because there's a lot of things that it does that I didn't know that it did. I knew that it worked really well on hormones and really well for neurologic function. And I saw amazing things for people's pain. Like I said, I had that guy that had pain for years and years and years, 13 years, hip discomfort, gone. Within minutes, gone. He says, I have not had pain relief in 13 years. Can you imagine? So my husband's had multiple accidents. He had a shattered pelvis. 2006, he was hit by a truck on a motorcycle and it shattered his pelvis. And so he has a lot of hip issues, and he works at the airport, and one of his jobs is to go upstairs and come back down. Well, he ended up going up 30, 40 flights of stairs that day, and he came home, he could barely walk. And I was like, whoa, what happened to you? And he goes, oh man, I had all these stairs to climb. My body just can't take it. And I said, oh, well, let me try some of this stuff, right? So I put the 10 drops of the Copaiba. I did 10 of Siberian fir, because this can be taken internally, great for pain. I put a little bit of frankincense, about 5 drops of frankincense in there, in this little sprayer, okay? And I had him take it to work, spray under his tongue as needed. Well, he sprayed one spray before he went to bed, woke up completely fine, said he slept really good, had no pain the next day, okay? The stuff is freaking amazing. I absolutely am in love with the effects of Copaiba. I mean, I don't know about you. Do you know somebody that has chronic pain? I know. We all know somebody, right? So Nora says, I've used it for back pain, hip pain, muscle pain, and it works amazingly great. Let's see. Where do you put it for the bladder issue? So you can put directly on location. All right. So just right over the suprapubic area, on location with a little bit of coconut oil. If you tend to be sensitive or have sensitive skin, you can put it straight if you want to. You can also take this, spray it underneath your tongue, take 1 drop, drop it right underneath your tongue, completely up to you. You could diffuse it. Even diffusing it has the same benefits as if you're taking it internally. Pretty amazing, huh? Hormones and pain, definitely. This is great, great, great stuff. Great stuff. My stepmom has Parkinson's, and so we're using the Copaiba oil on her. And so far we've been able to wean her off her Ativan and her Klonopin. And this is just over the last 3 weeks. Pretty amazing. I love what it's doing for her. Neurologically, she's a lot more stable. Her shakes are far more controlled, the Parkinson's. She doesn't have the mood fluctuations. I don't know if you know, but in doing the research with Parkinson's, after so much time being on the medication that they give you, you start getting the shakes from the medication. And it causes really wonky blood pressure issues. She's never had a blood pressure issue in her life. Now all of a sudden has a blood pressure issue. And so, we checked her kidney function to make sure that it wasn't a kidney-related issue. Her kidneys are fine, so that tells me it's drug-related. And so, the medications are fine to use, but they all come with a price. And so long-term, we're looking at something that can sustain and help her to prevent having to suffer over that long haul. And it's just been amazing to have these tools in our toolbox and be able to help her have a better quality of life, So I don't know if you know anybody that could use this, but, if they're having issues with neurologic headaches, migraines, if hormonal fluctuations, chronic pain, anything of that nature, skin issues, blood pressure fluctuations, great way to introduce them to something natural that is effective and doesn't have the side effects. Okay, so this is a cannabinoid. It hits the cannabinoid receptors in the body, but does not contain the THC that makes us have hallucinations or neurological changes like memory dysfunction. With the cannabis oil or the CBD oil, sometimes that can really trigger a lot of memory dysfunction. So I love the fact that this actually helps support your memory and helps your neurologic functions, helps keep you more focused, more alert, and it's just amazing. So thank you so much for being on here and letting me share this information with you. I hope that this helps you in some way. I look forward to hearing about your use of Copaiba oil. And if you are watching this and you have not used it yet, I urge you to get some. It's a limited type thing, so you can only put one Copaiba oil on your order per month, and it's a one-time order, so you can't like continuously have it on your LRP. You have to add it each time. It's $35 for a bottle, and that is for the discounted wholesale cost. Okay, and so this stuff's amazing. Get some, and I want to hear all about how you use it. I'll talk to you soon.